Moving to Israel? Awesome. Acclimated to life here? Not as awesome. Welcome to Oleh Chadash Toolbox Talks, tips and tricks to help you acclimate to your life here in Israel.
A welcome from Yerushalayim, wherever you are coming from. We are glad to have you here, joining us in our weekly Toolbox Talks, which is broadcast live every Sunday. And this is the third in the series, and there are many more coming down the pike. If you happen to be coming from New Jersey, I also urge you to look at the Jewish link, because there's an accompanying series of articles that appear in the Jewish link every week on Tachlis tips for Olim. And I also urge you that if you have the opportunity, and I've posted the link in our chats, to visit our Olim Toolbox WhatsApp, where you can post questions, or if we have any material that was left over beyond the 28 minutes that we have, that will appear in our WhatsApp link. I'm going to introduce now Karen Furman, who I met as the clutter coach. Her specialty is for Olim who are moving from abroad, how to downsize, but not just to throw out things that you really care about in order to fit an Israeli space, but also to do that intelligently, as well as to hold on to some of the things that are really dear and precious, and to do it in a way which is not going to really create too much of an impact, so that you can make your aliyah, but also hang on to your memories. So I'm going to pass this mic and this platform over to Karen. Karen, bevakasha, please take it away.
Okay, so hello. Thanks, Sid. I'm Karen Furman. I'm originally from Chicago, Glenview specifically, which is next to Skokie. I made Aliyah in 2010 from Baltimore, and we started out up north in Carmiel, and then 4 years later, we relocated to Beit Shemesh. I am a home organizer with a focus on downsizing and decluttering. And what I'm going to share with you today is my advice on what to take and what not to take, because you can't take everything when you come. And there are no pun intended, you can't take my advice. It's take it or leave it, so to speak. There are no steadfast rules, but it's my recommendation as having been in Olah myself, having made Aliyah, plus working as a home organizer. So I work with a lot of people who did make Aliyah, and when they call me in to do some home organizing or downsizing or decluttering, there are certain items that keep reappearing that they aren't in use and probably should have been left stateside.
How do we not have those Israeli number?
So what I'll start with is on the more positive is what you should take, and then I'll go into what I recommend what not to take. So first, you should take what sparks joy. If you've heard of Marie Kondo, she's a Japanese organizer. She's like, if it sparks joy, makes you happy, you should take it with you. It's things you want to surround yourself in your new home because it's a change. And you want to put your favorite things with you. So whether, it's favorite photos or an Afghan or a rocking chair or your candlesticks or your baseball card collection, whatever it is, you should take that. Okay.
I can interrupt for a sec. I'm going to ask whoever has their microphone on and there is noise in the background, please mute yourself so that we can hear Karen a little bit better. Thank you.
Okay. So those are things you want to take, the things that will make you feel more familiar in your new home. So now, what not to take. And like I said, no pun intended, take it or leave it. If someone is going to inevitably argue, well, my friend took their break front and they're very happy with it. And I will tell you, after somebody's moved here and now they're relocating or they're downsizing after 25 years. There's nobody who wants that break front. Okay, so the first thing not to take with you are things with cords and appliances. All those kitchen gadgets that you might be using now, your blenders and what do you call those things? Those drawing a blank. The things like you make dough with and whatever. All those kitchen appliances, leave them, give them to your friends, sell them, put them on the buy sell groups. Don't bring them. Like, yes, you could bring them here and use with a transformer, but the way your kitchen is laid out, the outlet for the plug for the transformer, the counter in which you want to put it, don't always align with each other. So, for example, we did have a transformer and we did have something, we did acquire a kitchen appliance that I actually brought, but that's another story. I had to take it into sort of the office area of the home if I wanted to blend a smoothie and then walk across the house to actually use it. So it's not convenient. Also, they burn out pretty quickly, so it's just better to leave them stateside and buy new appliances here. Second, do not bring big, bulky furniture. It may not fit through the door. It may not fit in the staircase. And if you decide to like upgrade or buy something new, it's hard to find a recipient who's going to want to take it for the very same reasons why you're not wanting to keep it. So beds, for example, with the box springs, they're much bulkier and bigger, and they take up a lot of floor space because many of the rooms here are of a much smaller scale, and we don't have walk-in closets for the most part. Like you might find some rare place that does have, but you have closets that are freestanding. It's called like an aron, like aron kodesh, like it's like a closet. So you have freestanding aronot, which is the plural of different shapes, or different how many doors. It could be a 3-door, a 4-door, a 6-door, and that generally takes up one whole wall of a bedroom. So that cuts into your space. So we had actually brought our beds, and I would say over a couple of years, we ended up just giving them away because they no longer worked. And once we relocated from Carmiel to Beit Shemesh, they definitely didn't work. Another thing are couches. Couches are very big, especially like sectionals. One thing to keep in mind is dust. If you have fabric couches, the dust gets into the fibers, so you're going to want to be vacuuming them often. So people have things like faux leather or leather that you can like wipe down. Another thing that I highly recommend not bringing are china cabinets. I will say there are many people who have brought them and they've used them many years, and then after many years they're either moving to a smaller space or they've lived in the space for, let's say, like 25 years. And there's nobody who wants to take these for the same reason. Like people are more apt to buy something straight from IKEA, or some other furniture place where things are more to scale and smaller. So finding new homes, or even if you say I'm giving this china cabinet away for free, the china cabinet might be free, but it's going to cost somebody minimally 600 shekel. I don't know if that is in dollar, minimally 600 shekel to move it. And people just don't want to do that. What else? Another thing about the beds, if you get beds here, many of them have lift up storage, like they kind of like tilt upward, and then people put out of season clothes or linens or whatnot underneath. And you don't get that with the American bed and box spring. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind, you need to change your mindset of, it's not easy to do, but to change maybe your shopping habits a little bit. and change what I call the warehouse club mentality. You might be used to shopping at BJ's or Sam's Club or what's the other one? I can't think of the name of it. It's been so long.
Costco.
Costco, thank you. Costco, right. So if you're used to shopping at Costco and stocking up, here, like there may be exceptions, there's always exceptions. But if you're going into this, let's say I call a standard 3-bedroom apartment, which is a 4-room apartment, you might have what's called a mahsan, which is a storage room as storage, but you don't have attics, basements, spare rooms under the stairs. You don't have all these extra storage spaces to keep all this, what I call the stockpile. You're very limited on space. You're going to be, once you're here, use like vertical height to store things, but you're not going to want to stockpile. So I don't know where people are getting their advice, or friends or people on social media groups, and you say, what should I bring? And they say, go to Costco and go buy whatever, baggies or tinfoil or plastic utensils or whatever it is. You could, it's been done, but where are you going to put it? And I caution you, if you buy things with expiration dates, I have encountered many a client who did bring their contact lens solution multi-pack extra large things, and then a few years down the line they have expired. Now I'm not telling people how to hold on expiration dates. Like I have people say, oh, they just put expiration dates on things so you can buy more of it. But I personally wouldn't use expired, let's say past a year and a half, 2 years of eye contact solution or tummy medication, because you might, chas v'shalom, God forbid, make your tummy problems worse by using expired products. So just shop with caution on things with expiration dates, as well as stockpiling the large items, because you might use eventually up your paper towel stash, but where are you going to put it in the duration? You can order things online like iHerb. You can get vitamins and supplements and nutritional products from there. You can order from Amazon, or you could have a friend or family member bring it, or if you travel back for work or for visits, you can always get it there. But I wouldn't stockpile it straight away on Alia, because like I said, you're not quite sure where to put it, and if you do put it somewhere, you might forget about it. Okay. So next, Karen, what are you telling me to do if you're saying not to take all this stuff? So I would take advantage while you're still there, as you start to go through the downsizing process, take advantage of things like, I don't know, Goodwill or Purple Heart or all these organizations, Salvation Army, whoever does pickups, like you schedule your pickup and they'll take it away. You don't have that here. And in a minute, I'm going to tell you another thing, a service that my husband and I do. We run moving and estate sales, but I'll get to that. There is no such pickup here. There are no organizations. There were some that did furniture, but they're very selective in what they take. And because after October 7th, I think they stopped taking donations. So when you have the opportunity, whether you're selling your things or giving them away, do it stateside, because there's not going to be a market for those China cabinets. What's that popular furniture brand? Hold on, make myself a note. There you go. Like, your Thomasville, your Ethan Allen, the stuff you've had for 30, 40 years. It's beautiful stuff. The wood, the natural wood, it's beautiful, but it doesn't really fit here. Like you might take a select piece, like you maybe might take a buffet or whatever, but don't take the whole set. Sell it where you have a market for someone who's going to buy it. Do it stateside. Hold on, let's go back to my notes. So you can take advantage of, usually friends and family are the first go-to. Say, hey, do you want any of this stuff? Another thing, if you have a Craigslist or a luach.com, there's buy sell on WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups, buy nothing groups. All these things are places to have people take your stuff that you're not keeping. So it's sort of a win-win, is that you kind of clear the space and you keep things that are good and usable out of the landfill and out of the dumpster. So I'm not telling you throw it all out, because that actually like hurts my heart to say just throwing it out. But if you find someone who could take it from you, that's always the best. So that leads me to the other thing my husband and I do. His name is Shmuel. So as a home organizer, one of the things when I'm working with someone on downsizing and decluttering, I take their giveaways away. So for many years, I was just sort of making matches, making a shidduch between the giveaways and someone who could use it. So whether it was like a family that was just getting started, or someone who just made Aliyah, or someone going through a hard time and needed something, it would go from one place to another. And people say, Karen, you're putting like so much effort. Why don't you sell it? So we created two things. We started a thrift store in Beit Shemesh, where we live. It's called Secondhand Israel. And we have tons of books. So as you start peeling back your book collection, you can always find secondhand books here. And we also have housewares and toys and other home goods, tchotchkes, art, whatever. So you can always find secondhand. The other thing we did because of this, I was once working with somebody and she had furniture that she needed to part with. And she asked me, say, can you sell this? I'm like, no, I don't think I can do that. I just can take away the small stuff. And I told Shmuel, Shmuel, someone has all this furniture. He's like, oh, I could do that. He had a retail background. So he went and measured and photographed and priced, and she was able to sell to the new owner a lot of the things that she needed to get rid of, and she made a very nice profit from it. So from there, a local realtor heard what we did and said, I have a client, they're going to assisted living, their kids need to clear out their home. Can you do like a moving sale for them? I'm like, sure, why not? So then we started doing moving sales. So we do moving sales and estate sales. So when we have things that we're selling for clients, we put it up on a website called secondhandisrael.com. So the store is Secondhand Israel. Our website is secondhandisrael.com. So you can see some of the things that we sell, and you can see what's going on at the different moving sales. So when you come and you say, oh, I need an XYZ, that's one place to look. Besides the local buy-sell groups, you can check out secondhandisrael.com and see if we have anything available that is happening from somebody else's moving sale or estate sale. So with that said, I don't know how much time I have left, but if you
You've got
have
about
any
10 minutes.
Oh, I have 10 minutes. Okay, so
You've
I guess I
got
should
10
have, like,
minutes, including questions.
including questions. So fine. So if you want to do like a one-on-one consultation, like you have like my general advice, but you say, Karen, I have some very specific items. I don't know what to do with them or what I should do with them, or should I keep them, not keep them, sell them, give them away, blah, blah, blah. Then you can go to my website and I have a area called Contact Me. And then you can just send me a message that way. Or my phone number, which is also there. I don't know if I should I give that out now, or you could just see it from the website.
Okay, you can give that out. I see that there's a question. I don't know if you have the chat open. There is a question regarding laws regarding bringing a container for Olim. I'm not quite sure what the question is, but perhaps you can address that.
I'm not sure laws in terms of how much you could take. I know there's different size containers. So I don't know that you'd have to speak to one of the shipping companies for the specifics. So I know there's Sonago. That's who we use. There's Sonago, and then there's what's the other one? Shoot, I'm drawing a blank here. So do you know the other there's 3 companies people generally use for shipping.
And I also have a link on a WhatsApp, which I can share on our Toolbox WhatsApp for somebody who gives advice as well on shipping and shipping containers. So you may want to check the WhatsApp by tomorrow, and you'll see the link to that other WhatsApp group relating to this issue as well.
Oh yeah, the other one's called one is called Aliyah Lift.
Mhm.
And I
I
think
think
there's
that's
one
it.
more.
I
So
think
I don't know
that's
the
it.
specifics, but there's like different sizes. There's like the crate size, there's like the standard size, and then like the extra large size. So it how much you fit goes on what size that you're taking. So just keep in mind whichever size you take, if you know to where you're going, which might be just in general presumably smaller than where you are now, you just have to see what fits. So
I have a question, if you may. What about the customs here? Do I have to pay taxes for the things that are being from abroad? Or how do I take them out of the customs?
okay, so that is not my expertise on the customs thing. That's a question for one of the shippers, and they'll guide you on that.
I agree. You should talk to them because they can probably give you the most intelligent and the most up to date. Because if there's any information we have, it may be out of date. So it's best to speak with your shipper and find out. And Karen gave you a couple names, and as I said, I'll put one up as well, so you can ask them more specific questions and get more specific answers. That's a good question. Regarding, I also noticed somebody also posted, what about tax reductions for Olim? There are no tax reductions anymore for electrical appliances. I'm not really sure about that. Again, it's a good question. You may want to speak either with the shipper or perhaps address the question to somebody at Nefesh B'Nefesh.
I have one more question, please.
Sure.
The cost of living here in Israel, it's very high. And some things are very expensive. Do you recommend certain things to buy in the States before you're making Aliyah?
Okay, so what to buy in the States? So it's been a long while. I made Aliyah 14 years ago, and I haven't been back since. I know some Olim like go back and forth, so I can't speak for prices, but like you do need a winter coat depending where you are. Jerusalem, Beit Shemesh, it does get cold in the winter. It rains, so I would have like a good raincoat. People like I said not to stock up at the Costco on things, but if you do have like I would bring one item and a spare. So if like I have a favorite toothpaste, it's called Tom's of Maine. That is the only thing in all this time that I have like specifically ordered from iHerb or if someone brings. So to get started, don't bring like 20 tubes of this toothpaste. Have one to start and one extra. Let's see here. So that's more, I'm not sure that answered the question, but it's just have like if there's something comfortable, like some things you can't get here. Like if you have a favorite brand, let's say like it's hard to get like Hanes, can't get like Hanes underwear or socks. They don't sell that brand here. So if that's something, bring like one new pack, but don't bring like 10 new packs of it because you could always order that. So have something familiar to start. But I don't know in terms of like an expensive item on like what to bring or not to bring, like cost wise.
Let me address that from my personal experience, and we do go back and forth to the States on occasion. Certain electronic items, computers, etc. We find that it's better getting in the States than it is here. I usually tend to make a run to the Apple store, or if in the New York area, there's Best Buy, there's B&H for electronic equipment, cell phones, etc. Definitely cheaper getting it in the States, and I don't think there's an issue in terms of customs or tax. And it's much better getting it there. There are certain medications that we find much better. It's not just a question of the comfort zone. And again, I caution, as Karen pointed out, expiration date is a major thing. So to go to a Costco or to go to a BJ's and to get a huge bin of Advil, you have to be careful because you don't want to find that you bought so much Advil that it's going to expire and you have to throw out half of it. By the same token, there is a medication which a member of my family uses. It's eye drops, and they are 3 times the price in Israel. But if you get them from Amazon, you can get them for very cheap. So it was much wiser to buy it, and that's not taking up a lot of room, neither in a container nor even in a suitcase. So it's worthwhile to do your shopping and price things out here and price things out in the States, wherever you're coming from, to make sure that if the savings is warranted and also that you will use it in time so that you won't have to worry about an expiration date and a product that you're buying that will actually be detrimental rather than beneficial in accumulating it. Somebody pointed out good cheese, goat cheese is very expensive. The answer is yes, but it's also, by the same token, it's probably better to get it here in Israel than it is to bring it over from the States. When I made Aliyah, I made the big mistake of saying to myself, I've fallen in love with certain spices. I want to bring over a whole package of spices that I love from the States. And I brought them here, and I didn't even realize until I got here that it was such a waste of time and a waste of space. And it took up one carton in the lift. Wasn't worth it. Best to go to the shuk, pick something up that's fresh, and get it here. So shop wisely, but also shop. Do comparison. That's one of the things that we can do. We have the luxury before we make Aliyah of seeing how things cost here and how much things cost there. We have about 1 more minute. So if there are any questions, we'll entertain one more question and then we'll close it for the
I think
session.
someone had a question about dishes.
Okay, please.
So with dishes, if you love them and use them, bring them. If for some reason you have a pattern that you dislike, or they're all broken or all chipped, then don't. That would be just sort of my general advice. And I just want to add on my website, karenfurman.com. That's my name, KarenFurman. I have a blog, and on the blog tab, I have lots of articles on how to downsize your book collection, how to, different categories to kind of talk you through so it's not so overwhelming and paring down.
And that, by the way, is also my undoing. My kids can't stand all the books that we have, but what can I say? I still can't live with them. Fortunately, we do have books exchanges in Israel, much more so here than we have in the States. We're running out of time, and if there are any leftover questions, please go to our WhatsApp group. The link is in our chat. Post the questions there. We'll do our best to answer it, to pass it on to Karen, and if she has any answers. And I thank you all very much for showing up today. And I wish you all a good week, good packing, and have a good day.